2023. Pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2022, this meeting will be hybrid, allowing participation both in person and in the City Council chambers and remotely. You can follow us on the Lawrence City Council page, the Lawrence YouTube page, and through our Zoom link. At this point, I'll ask the clerk to please call the roll. Clerk?
Councilor Levy is noted as absent. Councilor Del Cruz.
Present.
Councilor Russell. Present. Councilor Rodriguez.
Present.
Councilor Del Rosario.
Present.
Councilor Selena Reyes.
Present.
Councilor Infante.
Present.
Council Vice President Reyes.
Present.
Present. Before we rise for a moment of silence, I want to thank the people on the City Council as well as the people who you all represent. My brother passed this past week, and there's been an overwhelming amount of calls, emails, texts, providing condolences and support, and it means an awful lot to me, and I just want to thank all of you so much for your words of comfort and peace. It means an awful lot to me. So with that,
Can we call a moment of silence?
my brother's name is Paul LaPlante. We'll have a moment of silence on his memory, and after that, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. So we all please stand.
Thank you.
There are no minutes. We're going to start off with public participation. There's only one person. Mr. Molly, this is for you and you alone. You have 2.5 minutes. Someone is going to ring a buzzer at the 2-minute mark. Of course, you know the rules. Address just the chair and no individual members of the council, please. Welcome.
Humayun Mali, 53 Chester Street. Good evening, honorable members. In this great New Year's, we demand the best contract for Lawrence Police now. Lawrence Police, with the impeccable leadership by Honorable Chief Castro, doing excellent job to protect our citizens. Lawrence Police, this union of pride and honor, we support Lawrence Police Union, Seniors Officers Union, contract for Lawrence Police now. Million thanks to our DPW workers. Lawrence is a beautiful city because of our DPW and their leadership. Thank you for excellent job. We support our inspector department employees and their union. Thank you for a outstanding job. We must hire more inspector. Lawrence teachers, you are number one. You are the most important reason for success of Lawrence Public School. We demand the best compensation for our teachers, our public school paraprofessional and cafeteria workers. In this cold night and season, please help our homeless population. Bring food and donation to every Wednesday to Buckley Garage. In this important season of joy and happiness, we wish the best Christmas for all great union employees, from our firefighters, police officers, DPW, Lawrence Teacher and Inspection Department. Lawrence always is strong. Lawrence always unite. We support Lawrence Police Officers Union. We demand the best contract for compensation. We wish the best holidays for our police officers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and that is, no. All right, to our AAU members, so here's the deal. AAU, we have rules in the City Council, and some of these rules, you're like, why would you have that rule? But one of the rules that we have in the City Council, we don't really want to start catcalling or applauding or all that kind of stuff. So we try not to display that kind of emotion, so we can conduct things very even-handedly throughout the meetings, just so you know, right? Thank you. Having said that, we do have a city councilor here who has a guest. The guest needs to leave as soon as possible. So we're going to deal with that one first, and then we're going to get to the champions that are here. So Counselor De La Cruz, you've got to guess who needs to leave quickly or soon, so let's take care of that first. While we're waiting, would you, clerk, will you please call the roll for Counselor Levy?
Counselor Levy.
Present.
Thank you, Council President. It is my pleasure to remember so many people in this community that has done, help us to do the job. We have done many things, but we couldn't have done it alone because there is always somebody giving you that hand that you need at the moment. I remember when we were at the Parton School, when we have the day of the explosion in Lawrence. And we had this person who came in to support us. And I think we forgot about him, but his name is Jose Henao, who was there working with us hand by hand the 3 days that we were at the Parton School. I didn't want to forget him, and I would like him to come up. Jose Henao. Jose Henao, he is one of the members of the Columbus? Knights of Columbus. But he is everywhere. He brings his experience as a fireman, and he was there those 3 days without letting us alone. He found out the bathroom, and everybody was able to take a bath at the Parton School during those days. And he was there from 6 in the morning to I don't know at what time during the night. Then I would like to recognize Mr. Jose Henao, who has been a caring individual who has served as a constant supporter of Lawrence. Jose Henao worked hand in hand with the Red Cross and the city officials after the gas explosion. Jose Henao has served the community as the Caballero de Colón, or Knights of Columbus, a group of Christian men serving the people, and has humbly served in the Catholic Church in the area. Jose Henao has brought his experience as a firefighter from the Dominican Republic. And he is here, and always when we call Mr. Henao, he is ready to serve us. Thank you, Mr. Henao.
Thank you very much.
And I still have something more. Wait. Mr. LaPlante has teaching me something. You have to leave with another. Mr. Henao would like to say something in Spanish.
Muchas gracias. Okay. Muchas gracias a Mrs. de la Cruz, como nosotros siempre le hemos llamado, por su ardua labor y su trabajo. Lawrence hoy se queda sin una concejal excelente, a nuestro modo de ver, fue nuestra concejal por cierto tiempo y no había queja que se le diera, que no acudiera e hiciera su trabajo. Yo sé que ahora mismo están haciendo su trabajo cada uno de ustedes, pero nadie sabe lo que tiene hasta que no lo pierde. Ella es una persona que la admiramos, la agradecemos, y esto es un compromiso más. Lawrence para nosotros es la mejor ciudad de Estados Unidos. Lo hemos publicado en varios periódicos del estado y mantenemos esa posición. Mis hijos se criaron en Lawrence, Massachusetts, y gracias a ella, al ingeniero Dever, a Maldonado y otros profesores que le dieron calidad de enseñanza, son 3 profesionales excelentes, criados en Lawrence, y por eso para mí Lawrence corre por mi sangre. Me siento orgulloso de Lawrence y prefiero cuando me muera ser enterrado en Lawrence porque es un pueblo que me abrió las puertas de par en par. Discúlpenme que estoy un poco emocionado, pero no es para menos. Pero mientras hayan personas del estirpe de la profesora y de algunos de ustedes que saben lo que es trabajar, no sé el idioma, pero el trabajo no necesita idioma. El trabajo habla solo, habla todos los idiomas. Y nosotros, modestamente, hemos hecho un trabajo, hemos trillado un camino para que los jóvenes que nos van a suplantar vean y sigan esas huellas, que es la honradez, la honestidad y la seriedad, y trabajar como hombre de bien para su ciudad, una ciudad limpia, una ciudad culta, una ciudad que trabaja, no hay vuelta floja, y la educación solamente hay que subir un peldañito más para que seamos una ciudad completamente número 1 en Estados Unidos. Muchas gracias, muy agradecido, y sigan en su labor. Que Dios le bendiga. Gracias, profe.
Thank you very much. Is that it, Counselor? Yeah.
Ahora tenemos, now we have, you put me to speak in Spanish. Now we have Pastor Jorge Reyes, who came to this city from Cuba. Pastor Jorge, can you come in? I wanted to confess that I lied. I lied to you, Pastor, Father Jorge. I told Father Jorge that I need a blessing. You're going to give us a blessing anyway. But Padre Jorge Reyes, you have come from Cuba as a boy and have grown to become the best priest for the city of Lawrence. You are the pastor who initiated La Llama del Amor, Flame of Love. You have and continue to guide everyone who comes to you. You are that big brother who's through obedience has peregrinated around the world, giving the love only Jesus can provide. Thanks to your family for teaching you to do God's work. Thanks to the Almighty Lord for giving us the blessing to have you. You are an amazing human with a big heart. Our respect and love forever. Thank you, Father Jorge. Thank you. We also have another thing for you. Who doesn't know Father Jorge? He has been in the community for a long, long time. I came in about 25 years ago. 1996. And we wanted to say thank you because we know how much you struggle and how much you serve this community of Lawrence. You want to say something?
Thank you. I really did not expect this. I truly thought that I was coming here to give a blessing. But I came to Lawrence in 1996. But even before I became a priest, I knew of Lawrence because I was a drug rehab counselor. I used to come to the prison to interview some of the inmates that were going out to the world. And I fell in love with Lawrence, and I am very proud to consider Lawrence my home. As Maria said, I've been to many places after I left Lawrence in 2012, and every time I returned to Lawrence. My sister bought her first home here in Lawrence and raised her kids here, and my parents, they both passed away and are buried here in Lawrence. So this is my home, and I'm proud to call it my home. Right now I have returned to, not to the city, but close enough. I'm right on the border in Salem, working in Salem, New Hampshire. So what can I say? You know, you said so much, but I really do what I'm called to do and what's in my heart. Mother Teresa said once, that who does not live to serve is not, no sirve para vivir.
It's not
that-
worthy
To live, it's not, yeah, it's not worthy to live. And I always remember that my heart is with all of the people of Lawrence and all of those who I have been in contact with, and I remain to be a son of Lawrence, and I'm proud of it. Thank you.
Let me give you this box.
Before I get too carried out of the way, we do have some people that I want to recognize in the audience. We have two city councilor-elects. We have City Councilor-elect Santiago and City Councilor-elect Luzon. I just want to welcome them and look forward to working with both of them in a few weeks. We also have in the back, and I think he might say a few words, but he was a councilor, Representative Marcos Devers is here, and of course, he's always a welcome guest, and used to be the council president back in the day, so thank you for coming, Representative Devers. Now, I promised that we would go to the AU, but I lied, because we're not gonna go there right now. Councilor Infante she says it's gonna be brief, and let's hold her to that. Councilor Infante, you have the floor.
I will be quick because I saw some of our youth yawning, but I have a recognition here, and I would like Jose Tejeda to come up to the podium with me. Many of you know Jose Tejeda as a coach, and most recently as the new president of the Mount Vernon West Baseball League program. Jose, I have gotten to know him over the last 2 years. He just became president over the last 2 years. And behind closed doors, what the public doesn't see is his true commitment to our youth, his true commitment to our community. I had moments with him that we had issues with dog waste in Mount Vernon Park, and he went out of his way to buy bags and buy signage, and I would, have a little debate with him. I'm like, Jose, you need to let me know, because that's the city's responsibilities. What are you doing spending your own money? So after getting to know his commitment a lot more, I planned this with Gigi Martinez. I reached out to her. She couldn't be here tonight, but she planned on being tonight, but something came up. And I am so honored. I don't give recognitions a lot. I rarely do it, and I do it to people I present these to people who truly deserve a recognition. And Jose, I can't think of any other person to recognize tonight in our final meeting. And so I'm just gonna read this real quick. Lawrence City Council recognizes Coach Jose Tejada for his outstanding commitment to our youth and our community for the year 2022 and 2023. Thank you for everything that you do, and I am, can't wait to continue working with you.
I'll just have a quick message. Thank you for this, Stephanie. I wasn't expecting any of this. It's a pleasure to, It's a pleasure to work with the boys and girls from our city, from Mount Vernon Park. I just have a quick message for the parents. I started coaching when my kids were 5 years old. Now they're 12. Stay involved. Stay involved in sports, stay involved in the school, make that connection with the teachers, the school staff. It's worth it. I have two 12-year-olds that honor roll students, love going to school, love being involved in sports, and it's all worth it. Stay involved. That's the only way we'll keep these kids out of the streets of Lawrence. Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie.
Now for the moment we've all been waiting for. Councilor Del Rosario, will you please now navigate the rest of the show here for the football team? Thank you.
Gregory Rosario, 200 Coleman Street. That's not part of that. When it comes to this, I said it to another team. It was another team. It was basically last year. I travel with these kids every stadium that they go, and what they put out there, it's remarkable. They play as a team. They don't blame anybody for the loss, which they only lost once, right? But they don't blame anybody for the loss. They celebrate the win. And the next day, it's business as usual. They work as hard as any team that you can see in the NFL. These kids went 10-0, winning the Massachusetts division. And it was cold, it was raining, and they give their all. And to me, it's a pleasure to be part of them, which I'm not, but I'm part of them, and to recognize them, because we need to do this. And every time we have a chance, we need to recognize our kids, how they doing, when they doing good, or bad. I mean, if it would be a bad season, I would have brought them in here too. But they had a great season. They went undefeated to win the Massachusetts division. And unfortunately, like the Pats, they went undefeated, and when they went to the Super Bowl, they lost the last game. But they brought in a trophy for second place, and also we have the undefeated trophy. I don't know where the trophy is at. Where? Show them to the guys. So there's the two trophies. So in no particular order, I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to read the names, but I'm going to read what it says here, if I can see it. City Council citation, recognize Lawrence Pop Warner AU team in honor recognition of your outstanding participation in the Lawrence Pop Warner Hurricanes. No, in the Lawrence Pop Warner AU team football. Thank you for the hard work putting our name of a wonderful city of Lawrence in the higher achievement in the sport and academies. Let all be known that all the City Council acknowledge Lawrence Pop Warner AU team, December 19. The Lawrence Pop Warner AU team is hereby celebrated, recognized by the Lawrence City Council. And by no means, we started with the name Gomez. Huh? Yeah, come on here, come on here. Jerry's, right?
If there's no objection from the city council, can we suspend the rule for clapping after everybody gets their thing, and then we can all have a huge
Yeah,
clap?
you can sit down.
After.
Then we'll clap at the end. We'll clap at the end. Michael Beckman. We can do that. You're welcome. Sorry, I'm nervous. I don't know why, but I am. Adrian Adorno Colon. Where's Adrian? He left? So, give it to the coach. Johan Arias. James Asensio. Look at that. You grab that. That's for you. They all signed it. You see, they all signed it. Everybody that's sitting there signed it for you. Christian Forshaw. Christian. There you go, buddy. Christian. Thank you, buddy. Great season. Miles Farrell. There you go, Miles. Thank you, buddy. Jack Fitzgerald. So give us a shout, coach. David, is it Tiny? Tiny. Coach, how do you go in here? I don't know. All right, Coach. You're not tiny at all, Coach. Coach, you're not, they switched the stuff here. Coaches wasn't here yet, no. Ryan Mustafa. Ryan. Mustafa. Emmanuel Lizardo. Oh, that's a coach? So you see, they messed it up while you guys were signing it. Jariel Diaz. There you go, buddy. Raylin Jimenez. Good season. Kendrick Enriquez. Ryan Jimenez. We'll check it at the end. We'll go around and you can check. Paul Morales. What? He let leave? Okay. Coaches will bring that in. Danielle Lizardo. How you got two? Kaden Mustafa. Mustafa. I saw you wrestling. Jason Munoz. Is that you? Jackson Munoz? Landon Mustafa. Landon. Rabbit. Kendrys. You're welcome. This one is hard. Nasir Sanchez. Nasir Sanchez. Miguel Ángel Padilla. You see, this is a name that I could say. Look at this one. I don't know. I didn't put it together. Isaac Santana. Jack Sweeney Gonzalez. There you go, Jax. Eddie del Rosario. Look, he dropped this on the floor. Pick it up. Thank you. Brooke Tiny. Rock. Sorry, guys. Edward Carrasco. See, those are easy names. And I want to add that this is not possible with some people to get them together, and I don't know how they actually put up with all these kids. I mean, they're good kids, but I don't know how they put up through all the season. So, Team Mom, Lindsay Tiny. Thank you for put up with my kid. I don't know what the other one. Thank you. Is Oscar here? You have to leave? No, this was for Oscar. Team Mom, Melissa Gonzalez. Head coach Michael Mustafa. Assistant coach Derek. For sure. They're motivated, right? They're motivated. Sorry guys, almost over. Assistant coach Paul Morales. And last but not least, Ahmed Mustafa. He's not here. So with that said, guys, now we can come this way. You can say hi.
Let's say hi to all the city council members. Fist pound, fist pound.
Hard work.
There's a motion to take a 5-minute recess. It's been second. I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. We're in a 5-minute recess.
To a fist.
said that. The first one is Ordinance Committee, document 47323, naming a corner at the Exchange and Center Street for Rosalia Montanez. So I'm looking for a committee report on document 47323. $473.23.
I know. 47323, naming of corner of Exchange and Center Street, honoring Rosalia Montañez. It has been put on the agenda by Gregory Del Rosario and Senator Pavel Payano. It has been sent out with favorable recommendation, and I made that as a formal motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded by Counselor Reyes, because she's been on the council longer. Counselor Reyes, motion made, seconded. Discussion.
Discussion.
Del Rosario.
Through you, Council President, if you allow Ms. Montañez's daughter to say a few words of thanks for what we're doing. The family, if they can come up and just, it's been on the work for so long, and we want to get it through, and now that we're here, she would like to say something if you allow us.
That's not a problem. Welcome.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me this time. My name is Carmen Flores, and I work for Lawrence Public Schools. We have been here in the United States for over 50 years, and part of my family's here to kind of like emphasize what it is, what it means to us for this to happen. Sorry. We've lived on Exchange Street for over 50 years. Mom's single parent, 12 children, 6 boys, 6 girls. Worked forever to make sure that we had a safe environment, safe neighborhood. And she took part of, she was part of the Weed and Seed program. She has been recognized by like Marcos Devers, who has known Mom for quite a while. And I know that you normally don't recognize people for, while they are alive. Usually they do it after the passing, but after they've passed, then there's, we want her to know that we're doing this for her, and it means it's the least we can do for her. And, I hope it's not a lot to ask, and I think some of you might know of Mom's name, but, she's the core of the family, and it would mean the world to us if she can have this recognition. Thank you.
Mr. President.
How is your mom doing now?
She's doing okay. She's 95 years old. My brother Eddie was at home for 34 years. He passed to 2019, and she took early retirement, not willingly, but had to because she needed to care for Eddie. And Eddie passed when Mom was 87 years old, so she retired at 87 years old. That's what we say. And we cared for Eddie for 34 years, and it was not it wasn't a job, because it was her job, duty, responsibility as a parent to care for your child. But to give it the care that she gave him, one of a kind. And she's still doing it for us, too. So, I ask you to please consider this recognition. I call it a recognition. Hopefully, it's not anything big, but for us, it means the world. For the family, thank you.
Council President.
Councilor Del Rosario.
Thank you, through you. And I would like to add that this item was actually brought out originally to us through Marcos Devers, and he actually, back in those days, requested not to get the credit or not to be put in. I don't know why, but he was the one, the original, brought it out to us, and I just want to say thank you to Marcos, and Marco was the bigger pusher in this, even though our name is out there. He was the original who brought it in, and he did not want to get the credit that he deserved, but I think at least for respect, I should mention that he was the one that actually brought it in. So thank you, Marcos, for that.
Mr. President?
Councilor Rodriguez.
I would like to extend this opportunity to former Council President and State Representative Marcos Dever to see if we have a few words to say.
Before, can I hand up first before you?
Sure.
Thank you,
Councilor
Council
Infante.
President. If the author of the item doesn't mind, Councilor De Rosario, I'm one of the few that actually doesn't know the story of Ms. Montañez or who she is or what she's done for the community. If you don't mind just saying a few words of, oh, Marcos, okay, all right, perfect, thank you.
Thank you. May I just say that this process, I started 2019 in March. That's when COVID hit. So therefore, it was put on hold because it was insignificant, given the, the COVID. And then I had spoken to Mayor Rivera, and then he left. And then Kendricks came, and got the ball rolling again. And he's no longer here. And then I started working with De Peña. I met with a staff member of Mr. De Peña's office, and unfortunately, it didn't, it had to be put on hold again. And this is the closest I've come to making it a reality.
Representative Devers, welcome, and welcome back to the chambers.
Thank you, Mr. President, honorable councilors, and staff. It's great to be here with you. This is I think it's a great decision-making process at this point to honor a person that is, I think the right word is unsung heroine, a person that you don't know, is not widely known, but we know the history of this matriarch, a beautiful mother, a great mother, and not only that, community activist. As Carmen said, Doña Rosa Montañez, mother of 12 kids. One of them is a state trooper. The other are great citizen, hardworking people. And as a mother, she showed the power of love, caring for that person with disability that was a victim of violence, of street violence in the school. And it was very sad to see a mother sticking to that, to be like a slave, but with love, caring for that son. Doña Rosa worked to keep a city clean, a community clean. Her neighborhood was always clean and safe, and that's why she was a great activist with the We Don't See, the program that was spearheaded by former councilor Nilka Alvarez Rodriguez and her husband, Richard Rodriguez. I would like to give some accolades to Councilor Gregory Del Rosario, who listened to us, and the mayor when I brought up this case, and to all of you, and I would like to thank you for the great job you do for our city of Lawrence. And I want to take this opportunity to say some little word of farewell to my counselor, Maria de la Cruz, a great fighter that I really admire. And we owe a lot of respect to Maria de la Cruz. Again, this is about Rosa Montañez, and I appreciate, and the city will appreciate, and the neighborhood in that area will appreciate this kind of recognition to a great lady, a great matriarch, and on sound hearing. Thank you very much, President and honorable councilors.
Anyone else wish to speak on this matter? I'm going to hand it over the gavel for just a quick comment to the Vice President. So, through you, Madam Chair, so there was a personal relationship that I have with Rosa Montanez through my mom. They were very good friends when they worked at Lucent or AT&T. I can't keep track of what the last name of the company was. And I remember going to the house several times for the parties and the neighborhood group parties, and how impressive and how well-loved Rosa was. At the time, I wasn't really involved in too much politics, so it was just kind of overwhelming. But just to see the vitality and the love and just the tons of food that was there. This vote tonight's going to be difficult for me, and I just want the family to know that, and I do want to talk to the family afterwards. But regardless of that, there's a deep amount of love and appreciation for your family. And this is especially hard right now because of what I'm going through, but because of the tie that we have with our families. So, but anyway, I wish you all the best, and please, on my behalf, please tell Rosa I said hello, and I wish her the absolute 1,000% best. Thank you.
Anyone else? What is the motion? I made the motion to, we send it with favor recommendation, and I believe Councilor Infante.
Thank you. I would still like to know a little bit more. I think the representative did a great job. I heard a lot about Ms. Moulton as being a great mother, but I would like to know a little bit more about her, since we are naming a corner of a street. If anyone has a little bit more information of the work that she has done for our community, please.
Specific question that you might have that maybe the family might answer your questions?
So one thing that the former representative mentioned was that she helped keep the neighborhood safe and clean, and I would like to know what was one thing that she did do to help that area of the neighborhood, like keep it safe, and how does she bring everyone together to accomplish that?
And also the daughter spoke about her mom. If you want to come forward and ask some of the questions that the counselor has, if you can tell us a little bit more about your mom.
Well, just to specify more what I try to say about her role as a great community activist, let me tell you one thing. Almost all the mayors that have gone through this building visited her. But she was always calling them, looking for support. She was kind of a guardian for that neighborhood. As I said, in the Whedon seat, she was one of the leaders. She was part of some of those committees, a board member, a very respected neighbor in that community. As I emphasized, and I stressed, there are leaders here that we don't know, but they are working silently, and they are not looking for recognition. And it was notable and profound what she did for the neighborhood.
Thank you.
That's what I had to say.
Thank you. We do have the ordinance written out here, but for those that are watching at home, or like me, who's new to the city council, newish, that don't have the document or the details of her life and how she helped out the community, it's good for us to vocally say it for those that aren't here. Thank you.
Any other question for the daughter? All set? So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Oh, roll call.
Counselor Infante.
Yes.
Counselor Selena Reyes.
Yes.
Counselor Del Rosario.
Yes.
Counselor Rodriguez.
Yes.
Counselor Russell.
Yes.
Counselor Dela Cruz.
Yes.
Counselor Levy.
Yes.
Counsel Vice President Reyes.
Yes.
Counsel President LaPlante.
No.
Thank you.
9, okay.
Congratulations. The next item that's on the agenda in order,
President, I'd like to make a motion for a 5-minute recess, 3-minute recess.
motion made for a 3-minute recess has been seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have.
Yeah, we good.
Looking for a vote to come out of recess?
So move.
Motion made by Councilor Vice President, seconded by Councilor, oh, it's the Reyes team. I'm not going to say that much anymore. Made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. What we're going to do now, if there's no objection, I'd like to take document number off of tabled matters, document 44623. Is there any objection to that? Seeing no objection, document 44623. Clerk, what is the underlying motion on 44623?
There was a motion to approve made by Councilor Levy, seconded by Councilor Del Rosario,
Excellent.
and then it was tabled.
Very good. So the motion before us is on a motion to approve. It's been properly seconded. Is there any discussion on this matter? We do have family here tonight. Do you want to hear from the family? Okay. Is there anybody from the family or family friend who may wish to speak this evening?
Thank you.
Good evening, councilors. It's been a very long time since I've been in this chamber, and it kind of feels good to be here again. So, my name is Nelson Silva, 31 Milk Street, Methuen, Mass. I would like to thank Council Vice President Estela Reyes and Mayor Brian DePena for their support on this dedication to the late Sergeant Donald Cronin. I'd also like to thank the Cronin family for helping me in putting this together. For those who didn't know Sergeant Cronin, he was born on February 25th, 1949 in Lawrence, resided at 5 Rhine Street with his parents. His father was State Representative John Cronin, Democrat, represented the city of Lawrence, and his mom was Adelaide Cronin. Sergeant Cronin was a third child of 4 with 2 step-siblings. He grew up in Lawrence and came from a family of public servants to the same. His grandfather, Michael Cronin, served as a patrolman in Lawrence Police Department, and his brother, John Cronin, was a lieutenant for the Mass State Police. As a teen, he graduated from Lawrence High School, class of 1967. He later received his degree from Northern Essex Community College. On March 21st, 1968, he entered the United States Air Force, where he served in the Vietnam War and was honorably discharged as an Airman Basic on March 20th, 1972. After returning home, he was appointed to the Lawrence Police Department as a reserve officer on May 7th, 1972. On November 11th, 1973, he was appointed as a permanent officer. Through his many years of service to the Lawrence Police Department, Sergeant Cronin worked diligently and proficiently in the Hackney Unit, Police Records Department, Community Policing as a day shift supervisor for many years. Because of his consistent willingness to help and serve, on November 14, 1997, he was promoted to sergeant. His many acts of heroism and valor were recognized and awarded with many awards throughout his career as an officer. On June 3, 1991, Sergeant Cronin was recognized by the Mass State Senate for his heroic efforts in saving the life of Manuel Hidalgo by administering CPR. On April 15, 2003, Sergeant Cronin was recognized and awarded the Distinguished Medal of Valor for his courageous actions in confrontation of criminal conduct. In 2005, he was awarded the Ned Schwartz Community Service Award for continuous efforts to maintain a growing relationship between the Lawrence Police Department and the residents of Lawrence. In April 2009, he received the Interagency Recognition Award from the Massachusetts Parole Board. These are just some of the awards he received during his time of service. Sergeant Cronin retired from the Lawrence Police Department in June of 2009 after 38 years of service. After retirement, he worked for Merrimack College Police Department for 2 years. In December 2011, he received a Special Recognition Award from the Merrimack College Police Department for his dedication and teamwork in the investigation of bias-motivated crime. He was very involved in community and civic organizations in the city of Lawrence. He assisted his church in the planning and execution of many events and fairs. He was always aware of what was happening within the city and in his community. His main priority was the safety of his beloved city. He was a loving father, husband, grandfather, mentor, and friend, a veteran, and most of all, a cop's cop, because of his compassion for the city, for me, He was a mentor, a friend. I saw the impact he made on the city on a personal level and as well as a citizen of Lawrence because I was one of the lucky ones he took under his wing. I had the pleasure of doing a ride-along with him in the summer of '93. I saw firsthand how he treated everyone he came across fairly with no prejudice to who they were. Sergeant Cronin died on St. Patrick's Day, March 17, 2015. I ask for your consideration tonight for the dedication of Lawrence and Maple Street, where he lived in the city for many years and was a true fighter. And also, he lived at Mary Immaculate residential community, and he was the person that everybody would go to in that complex when they needed anything from him. He worked many years in that complex. Also, as many of you know, there was a precinct there for the elections. Yes. Also in attendance is his wife, Linda Cronin, his son, Donald Cronin Jr., and his granddaughter, Brianna.
Thank you. Any other counselors who wish to speak on this matter? There is a motion before us. The motion's been made and properly seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Roll call vote, please.
Counselor Levy? Yes. Counselor Dela Cruz?
Yes.
Counselor Russell?
Yes.
Counselor Rodriguez?
Yes.
Counselor Del Rosario?
Yes.
Counselor Selena Reyes?
Yes.
Counselor Infante?
Yes.
Counsel Vice President Reyes?
Yes.
Counsel President LaPlante?
No. Motion carries. Congratulations. The next item is, through the Vice Chair, document 47423. Out of your committee.
Yes, 474, filled position vacant longer than 6 month municipal service manager. It has been put in the agenda by our personnel director, Scott Savak, and that has been sent out with favor recommendation, and I make that as a formal motion. He's present if you have any question, and he can.
Motion's been made and properly seconded to approve. Discussion? He stayed here a long time. No one's got at least one question for him? No question. All right, no discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Thank you, Mr. Zabak. All right.
We have another item, 464. 464 is a yeah.
Go ahead, Counselor. If there's no objection, we'll take 464 out of order. Seeing no objection, Council Vice Chair.
So this is a home care imperial license. It has been put on the agenda by Christian Sanchez, Phoenix Marketing. It has been sent out with favor recommendation, and I make that as a formal motion. He's also present if you have any question.
Motion made and seconded by Councilor Reyes. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it.
Aye.
So you got it. You don't need to say anything. We may change our minds. Just go. Just walk away. You're right.
Merry Christmas.
If there is no objection. National Grid, can you hear me? We're going to go to public hearings. Document 45223, will the clerk please read the public hearing notice?
Document number 45223, 45323, 45423, 45523, 45623, 45723, 45823, 45923, and 46023 are all in one public hearing. I'm going to read that Notice is hereby given that the Lawrence City Council will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, December 19th, 2023, at 7:00 PM in the City Council Chambers, 200 Common Street, Lawrence, Mass., pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023 and in accordance with the recently revised City Council Rule Number 2. This meeting will be hybrid, allowing participation both in person and remotely to accommodate any participant with health considerations that present them from participating in person. To receive access codes for the remote participation, the city clerk at eileen.bernal@cityoflawrence.com or 978-620-3230. The meeting may be viewed on Facebook and YouTube. What do you need?
Reset?
The purpose of said hearing is to gather testimony, information, and input concerning a series of 9 petitions presented by Massachusetts Electric Company doing business as National Grid, requesting the City of Lawrence, Mass. By and through its city council members for permission to locate poles, wires, fixtures, and conduits, including along and across the following public ways. Document -23, install underground facilities, switchgear, and transformers on Merrimack Street at the intersection of Merrimack Street and South Union Street. Reference number 30740145. And document number 453-23, install one JO pole number 432 on Tyler Street at intersection of Tyler Street and Newton Street. Reference number 29436888, and document number 454-23, install one ESSO pole 6151 on Phillip Street near the intersection of Salem Street. Reference number 299-60196, and document number 455-23, install one JO pole number 29-50 on Andover Street near the intersection of Andover Street and Ferber Street. Reference number 2943. Sorry. I just lost my place, so I apologize.
Start from the beginning then.
No, install one JO pole number 29-50 on Andover Street near the intersection of Andover Street and Ferber Street. Reference number 29438746. And document number 456-23, install one ESSO pole number 465-50 on Kingston Street near the intersection of Kingston Street and Newton Street. Reference number 30546082. And document number 457-23, install one JO pole number 5715-84 on Market Street near the intersection of Market Street and Loring Street. Reference number 30552690. And document number 458-23, install one JO pole number 98 on Merrimack Street near the intersection of Merrimack Street and South Broadway. Reference number 29411772. And document number 49-23, install underground facilities, switchgear, and transformer on South Union Street. Reference number 29866089. And document number 460-23, install one JO pole number 6168 on Blanchard Street near the intersection of Blanchard Street and Bailey Street. Reference number 30552693. Copies of the relevant plans for all 9 petitions are on file with the Office of the City Clerk and may be viewed upon request. Persons wishing to be heard shall be afforded the opportunity.
Councilors, public hearing is now open. Anybody that would like to speak?
3 of them.
Yeah, the person from National Grid is speaking.
Mr. Boucher, you've got the floor.
for a second.
Mr. Boucher.
Did you hear me?
Do it again, please.
All right. Dave Boucher, 1101 Turnpike Street, North Andover, National Grid.
You've got it. You got the floor, Mr. Boucher.
Okay, thank you very much. I didn't know if you could hear me clearly. I'm just here for the first petition, and that's the one on Merrimack Street, where we're asking for 100 feet of underground wire cable to be run from an existing manhole and onto the property
All right.
of number 201 Merrimack Street. And if the city sees fit, it would enable us to go forward with that project. Thank you.
Through you, Madam Chair, do we have that item on that package that you read? 452? That was part of it? Yes. Okay. So he's here just to speak on behalf of item 45223. There's anybody that would like to speak on any other item in front of us? I hear none, so at this point, the public hearing is closed. Councilors, what's the motion?
Second the motion.
There is a motion on the floor, properly second, discussion.
Discussion.
Councilor. So are you making the motion to approve all of them altogether or individual items?
That's, the speaker has something to say about it, but otherwise, it wasn't there as a block. It was also advertised as a block, and everything was approved as a block.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that you have to just make a motion as a block, but I mean, if you wish.
Exactly, so we can do the motion and to approve as a block.
All right, councilors, there is a motion to approve this item as a block, item 45223, 45323, 45423, 45523, 45623, 45723, and 45823, and I believe 45923, and 46023. All of them together. There is questions in regard to this motion. Councilor Rosario.
Thank you, through you. Question that I have, it's why are they still paying $100 per pole or per work when we actually approved an ordinance a few months ago where they needed to pay everything that is cost to publicize the public hearing? It's approved, I wondering why they're still paying $100 per pole or per work when we approve an ordinance to charge everything that we pay while we do these public hearings. They need to pay for everything that is the cost of the city.
Madam Clerk, do you have any answers on that?
To change the fee, we need to have a public hearing. We have not had that public hearing yet, so we can have that. I was waiting for language. I don't write the ordinances, the city attorney does. I will say, Councilor Reyes made a motion at the subcommittee level, at the ordinance committee, to run the 9 as one unified ad, which actually cost less than $900. So we did, on this instance, we were able to, it did not cost us money. Sometimes those ads run $300 to $400 each. It was a larger ad. I believe it was like $870, but it was still under the $900. So it worked out in this instance, but no, you're right, as far as the need to have the ordinance changed so that it doesn't cost us money to run these ads, which is silly. I absolutely agree with you, Counselor.
I mean, should we approve something that we already violate the ordinance that is in place unless we don't honor it?
There's no ordinance. The city attorney hasn't been approved, it hasn't been sent up from the ordinance committee yet.
Madam Clerk, do we have the ordinance published, or do we still waiting for the language?
We are waiting for.
So we haven't published that ordinance before? No.
But I do remember the public hearing. But that's okay. Go ahead. I mean, we can continue giving money to this huge company that they just come here to make money.
Councilors, at this point, there is any other questions in regard to these 9 items? I hear none. At this point, I call the questions. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
No.
Roll call, please.
Sorry. Counselor Levy?
Yes.
Counselor Dela Cruz?
Yes.
Counselor Russell?
Yes.
Counselor Rodriguez?
Present.
Counselor Del Rosario?
No.
Counselor Selena Reyes? Counselor Infante?
Yes.
Counselor Vice President Reyes?
Yes.
Council President LaPlante?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. Okay. Go.
I think you should tell them that they're all set. Tell them that they're all set.
Mr. Boucher, you'd be happy to know that we passed all of those. And I'm just letting you know that I think there's going to be movement to increase the rate fees as soon as we can get that published, so just be ready for that. All right. Ordinance Committee, document 21723. Madam Chair.
Yes, thank you. 21723, request for loading zone 275 Broadway Street. It has been sent out with favorable recommendation for withdrawal, and I make that as a formal motion.
Motion made, seconded by Council Del Rosario. Discussion. See no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Document 218.
Request for loading zone 313 Broadway Street, and has been sent out with favorable recommendation for withdrawal, and I make that as a formal motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded by Councilor Levy. Discussion. See no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 291.
Resident parking Walnut Street, has been sent out with favorable recommendation to order a public hearing, and I make that as a formal motion.
Motion made and seconded by Councilor Levy. Discussion. See no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 310.
Handicap parking at 7 Campus Seco Street has been sent out with favorable recommendation to order a public hearing, and I make that as a formal motion.
Second.
Motion made, seconded by Councilor Russell. Discussion. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 333.
Stop sign Grove Street at Prosper Street has been sent out with favorable recommendation to order public hearing, and I make that as a formal motion.
Motion made, seconded by Councilor Levy. Discussion. See no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 334.
Stop sign Grove Street at High Street also has been sent out with favorable recommendation to order public hearing, and I make
Second.
that as a formal motion.
Motion made, seconded by Councilor Levy. Discussion. See no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 338.
Handicap parking, corner of Hampshire Street and Hayward Street, and has been sent out with favorable recommendation to order public hearing, and I make that as a formal motion.
Second.
Question. Yes. Madam Clerk, quick
Yes.
question. Can we order the public hearing just like you did for National Grid for all of
We
the
can make a
handicaps
motion.
altogether?
Can we make only one public hearing with all the address, which I was gonna ask you that? Yes, we could do the do it as
Just a block.
So we can, when we finish, what we're gonna do, since that I start reading one by one, then we're gonna make a motion to make only one public hearing. But yes,
That was 338, and there was discussion. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 354.
so, I'm going, to okay, 354, handicap parking, 198 Union Street, has been sent out with favorable recommendation to order public hearing. We're not gonna make a motion if we're gonna make only one motion, right? We're just gonna be reading. Yeah, we can make the motion at the end. Yeah,
Honestly, if you could just make the motion on each one, and then we'll do the.
yeah, okay. So, and it has been sent out with favorable recommendation to order public hearing, and I make that as a formal motion.
Motion made, seconded by Councilor Levy. Discussion. See no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 355.
Beacon Hill Street, and has been sent out with favorable recommendation to order a public hearing, and I make that as a formal motion.
Second.
Motion made, seconded by Councilor Levy. Discussion. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 357.
357 handicap parking on 115 Garden Street has been sent out with favor recommendation to order public hearing, and I make that as a formal motion.
Second.
Motion made, seconded by Counselor Levy. Discussion. Seeing no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 362.
Handicap parking at 47 White Street, building number 15. It has been sent out with favor recommendation to order public hearing, and I make that as a formal motion.
Motion made, seconded by Counselor Levy. Discussion. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 364.
Parking at 209 Hyde Street, and has been sent out with favor recommendation to order public hearing, and I make that as a formal motion.
Motion made, seconded by Counselor Levy. Discussion. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it.
What is the next one?
365.
Handicap parking at 71 Berkeley Street. It has been sent out with favor recommendation to order public hearing, and I make that as a formal motion.
Motion made, seconded by Counselor Levy. Discussion. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 426. Motion made, seconded by Counselor Del Rosario. Discussion. See no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 427.
Street. It has been sent out with favor recommendation to order a public hearing, and I make that as a formal motion.
Motion made, seconded by Counselor Levy. Discussion. See no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Document 469. I think, Counselor, this is our last one as the Chair of the Ordinance Committee. Let's make this a good one. Go ahead, Counselor.
469 Washington Street. No overnight parking outside from Manchester to Lake Street. It has sent out with favor recommendation to order public hearing, and I make that as a formal motion.
Motion made, seconded by Counselor Levy. Discussion. See no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have.
So the motion is to make only one public hearing to all handicap, or we can do all the handicap.
Let's do ourselves a favor. We don't need to read everything. Just put the numbers down in your motion that we just did. That way it just gets.
For the
any confusion.
handicap
Just read
was,
them. But to have them as a block to be part of one public hearing notice. Is there a second? Seconded by Counselor Rodriguez. Discussion. See no discussion. I'll call the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. So we just saved ourselves some money. All right, good. Committee on the whole. Madam Chair of the Committee on the Whole, Madam Vice President.
I believe that I'm gonna be needing a little help about this, because, I know that, Councilor Levy. So 10521, it cast Board of Director request update information about community and television station. It has been sent out as a committee report in, I make that as a formal motion. as a
Motion
committee.
made,
Second.
seconded by Counselor Levy. Discussion.
Okay, so the item 10521 was at the Committee of the Whole for a very long time, since 2023. And at the last meeting, we sent it to the full council just to keep it in here, along with the other two items that we have, that is being referred to the LCAT. so that we can have everything in just only one place and be practically part of the, of one item. Motion to merge. Yes,
There was a prior document that dealt with the audit of,
that was another one regarding also Channel 22, because of the problem that we already have with the television, and it's, you know, that's here at the labor of the city council chamber.
so so just, the chair just wants to be helpful. We already have a document that deals with the audit. We voted on the audit, and that is going through its motions at this point. This is something, I think, a little different than the audit, I think. Why is this different than the audit? What's this one about? Board of directors, we just want to find out who's on, how they get there, how they get
At
selected?
the time, Council President, through you, at the time that we discussed the LCAT, we invite the board of director of the LCAT. We invite also the chief of the finance of that, over here, and there were also the attorney. So that is the first meeting that we had, maybe a year ago, no? Regarding the LCAP, because we want information on what's going on first, regarding that they do not have any
charter,
contract, yes.
bylaw,
The contract, yes, the contract with the LCA was over for almost 2 or 3 years. We were not receiving any information about also the money that they were receiving, on how they were transferring to the city or the school and many other things. So that was the things that we discussed at the time on the LCA. They were supposed to send it to us, a lot of information. Not all of the information that we requested, they were sent, and not all the people that were supposed to come in here that represent the LCA at the time came in here. That's why we keep it at the label of the committee of the whole. But because also we start having some other problem, not just only with the LCAT, but also with the television and the things. Right now, people cannot hear us very well through the transmission that we are supposed to do it at all of the other channels and everything. That's why we would like to have everything in one place instead, because no other time the committee of the whole is getting together. That is why we would like to have, and when we had the committee of the whole at the last time, the last November, we send it over here to keep it in here.
So my recommendation, Counselor, is listening to what you would like to see happen, is I think that what you want to do is you want to keep this at this level, 105-21. So at some point, if you want to bring in the new LCAT, whoever is, I have no idea who's running the show over there, but whoever it is, and you bring them in, or ask questions, you have that under table matters, you can pull that up. The audit is the audit, that's very definitive, it's got its own thing. I don't think it's helpful to mix.
The order was sent, I'm sorry, through you, the order was sent to, what is the name of the lady? Diana De Soglio, that was sent to her, the information. I hope that she received that, a letter or information that we already at the level of the city council that we approved and added to the LCAT.
So just so you are aware, and as of just, it's related to this, the auditor has received it, and they're working through stuff at their level, so.
Great.
I can't comment how far or what, the
That's
the
okay.
specifics behind it.
But
I can
there
tell
was
you-
a moment that maybe we were gonna
They
call
are-
again and find out where we at with this audit.
But they did get our vote and the mayor's approval, and they do have that at the auditor's office.
But the thing is that we want this item at the level of the full council, you know, if we need to get this thing out and not to wait for the committee or the whole to get together.
So that would require a motion to table, so we can leave it.
Second.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Now tabled. Speaking of tabled matters, Mr. Russell, I believe you had. If there's no objection, to take 324, look that up on your agenda, 32422 is halfway down the tabled matter. Is there any objection for taking this off the table? Any objections? Seeing no objections, it's off the table. Counselor Russell, what's the underlying motion on that, by the way? Hold on. We gotta keep. Bring all the table matter stuff in.
Constitutionalist, I will be damned if I'm gonna see my tax money being spent on a church.
So what you could do, so what did you want? Do you want to withdraw this item?
I want it removed off the table.
Okay, so that is a privileged motion. There's a motion to withdraw this item off the table. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by, who spoke first? Counselor Infante. Discussion on this. I saw Counselor Levy's hand first. Counselor Levy.
Thank you, Council President. Yes, I agree that we should get to withdraw because the church was already sold out and another company bought it and started doing some work. That nothing that we had right now to do with the St. Mary or the St. Anne Church. So I agree, and I was thinking to get this out of the table for withdrawal too.
There is. There's already a motion to. No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Are there any other tabled matters?
No.
What's my? If there's no objection, I'd like to take document 16321 out of table matters to Stockton Park Commission. Is there any objection to taking that off the table? Seeing no objection, I believe the chair, the vice chair's got the gavel on this because I removed myself from discussion on that. Councilors, I'd like to make it an amendment to my item on 16321. This is the Stockton Park Commission, councilors. I want to thank most of you.
This on your place.
Yeah. So y'all came down to the Stockton Park rededication and the panels. I think that exemplified exactly what that we're trying to accomplish at that. And the idea here, again, what this is about is I'm trying to take this out of the hands of the individual politicians and put it before a board and a commission. As you can possibly understand now, who decides who the five are going forward and where the money is going is a hard question. And getting a commission of residents set up to help make that decision, I think, after going forward with proposals to see who it should be, and then getting an artist and getting the stipend. We already have partners now that are looking to help. The Cultural Council's been fantastic, and we have other potential places for money as well. But making them independent, I think is going to be helpful in making this thing revolve and rotate as we go through this process. My motion on this is to talk about the membership. I think there was some angst about the council, any council from District F. I'm looking to take all of that off and have 5 members selected by the mayor and sent down to the city council for approval, and not have any specialty groups. 5 residents from Lawrence sent down to the city council, and that's going to be my amendment to that motion.
Second.
Change the composition of the membership of the
Second.
Stockton Park Commission to make it all residents and no specific individuals or ex officio individuals.
7 members out of a total of 5 members, and it would be 1, 2, 3, 4 would be eliminated, it would be 5 picked by the mayor and the secretary.
Okay,
Councilor.
second, and, any other question? None? So,
You're gonna have 2 votes because the people that made the motion can't accept your friendly amendment. So we have a vote. Councilor Plant is making a motion to amend it. Councilor Fonte seconded that motion. So you vote on the amendment and then we're rolling, like, is it 2 votes, I guess is my.
It all depends on the original motion.
Councilor Abdu made the original motion.
Where is he when I need him?
Counselor,
That's why I
Tony
didn't want
Gonzalez. So I think you need 2 votes.
Okay, so 2 votes. There's something. All right, 2 votes it is.
Motion, the second motion is to accept the motion.
Just for the membership, right? The second one is to accept the and do we have an open discussion on one motion? The discussion will be for one of the 2 motions.
So right now, the motion in front of this body is to amend the composition of the membership to become a 5-member, like every other board, a 5-member board that all 5 people are appointed by the mayor, just like any other board or commission. The previous one is 7 members and then certain people got automatic seats. So changing that to just 5 residents.
I have a few questions. Through you, Madam Chair. So my first question will be, that park currently is being used with multiple purposes. One of them is for the exhibition that we were witness a month ago or something like that. And the other one is for typical celebrations. Perhaps we have a Christmas decoration down there now. People that are involved in one didn't necessarily show up to the other one, and vice versa. So my question is more related to what is going to be the main purpose of the park, or it's going to be a different purpose for the park? Perhaps, are we going to keep on having the Christmas decoration, and that's going to be up to who? Or the concern will be more of the exhibition, to what we demonstrated a few months ago that it can be done, and it was done. So I just don't wanna miss the opportunity, perhaps that eventually down the road, this park being a gateway, located in a gateway part of the city, not to have that opportunity to have different type of activities, even though they're probably completely different. And that's the main concern. When we have the Christmas decoration, basically I didn't see anybody. I was on both of the event, but I didn't see one of the other. And that was something that it concerns me, because it could be that, you know, if one group of individual take over, is the other section of the park, or perhaps the other purpose of the park, is going to take place. So that's one of the concerns that I have. So if anybody might be able to help me.
Yeah,
Who the mayor, so the mayor picks 5 members, but ultimately is the city's council's responsibility to confirm it, just like how we do with the airport commission, just in other boards and commissions. So essentially, it would be up to us to ensure that whomever the mayor chooses to send down represents all parties for that park.
That was my first concern through you, Madam Chair. Is that gonna be, is the commission only gonna look into that section of the park, perhaps the exhibition? Or they gonna oversee the entire park?
Councilor President.
Thank you. So, well stated, through you, Madam Chair. This is exclusively, I'll repeat, exclusively for the 5 panels. Christmas decorations, if it's a non-marital thing, comes before the council. If you want to have a Groundworks Lawrence has a fair there for whatever reason, comes before the council. If you want to have, by the way, I would love to see more activities there, because the more eyeballs we can get on those panels, the more people learn about the amazing people in our city. So yeah, bringing more people in. But the only thing that this commission will have is going to deal with selecting the artist, selecting the doggone images of the individuals, and then marketing or whatever, building the network to get the stipends for the artists, exclusively the 5 panels.
Yeah. And another question that I have, perhaps around the commission, this is going to be a unique commission, because it's only going to be overseeing the 5 panels you just stated, Council President. My question will be, in general, why don't we allocate a responsibility to the Lawrence History Center, since they are the most expert as of who might be the next exhibition up there. It's going to be something historical most of the time, so they are the most capable of doing that, and that way we don't have to deal with a commission entirely for those 5 exhibition panels. Perhaps that's I was wondering about that. Why don't the Lawrence History Center do that in collaboration with the Cultural Center? That might be able to be something related to that aspect, perhaps. So that's something that I was wondering.
Yes, Councilor President.
Through you, Madam Vice Chair. So I did consult. They would feel much more comfortable being an advisory group as opposed to being the group that does the selection. So in a perfect world, you could bring folks from the History Center in to the 5-member commission and maybe provide some advice, some background information, something like that. They do not want to be on a specific board or commission, but they would not mind, they would like to be asked, I think, as maybe provide some guidance.
I'd like to make a motion to ensure that the establishment of this commission will be only overseeing the 5 different panels, and to make that clear as a form of a motion. So that's I would like to make that motion in case that the document doesn't state it, that is there as a form of a motion. So that's my motion.
Second.
Motion has been made, properly seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The amendment's still on the table, yes. So what do you wish to do with the, we,
Motion carries, right?
okay, so the
Madam
amendment
Clerk,
was.
the motion
Yeah,
carries?
motion, yeah. Yeah, oh, go ahead.
Looking at this, well, first of all, it says that city, it was established in the city an advisory commission for Stockton Park, within the intersections of Winthrop, Sylvania, and Exeter Street. That's well defined. No, I just think, okay, all right. Now, the other comment I have is on section 2.105.040, it says for initial appointment to the commission, the mayor shall appoint with the council confirmation all Lawrence residents. Okay, you're gonna have to change that thing, because you've got 2, 1, and 1, instead of something that adds up to 5.
So, Madam Chair, the, section 2210510 just changed right now to be defined as the advisory is established for the city, in the city, an advisory commission for the 5-panel at the Stockton Park. Yeah, that was my motion.
That was your motion,
Yeah.
that has been second,
And that just passed.
yes.
So once we get through the second motion, the clerk will have the verbiage to then make the necessary changes to the document that we currently have in front of us, but we need to get through the votes.
Right?
Yeah, but we need to make one more change to thanks to council.
Yeah.
Which is on letter A, and it says we still have it's 2, 1, and 1, and we need to have another 2, I don't know, big difference to me. So 2 members were appointed for 3-year terms, 2 members will be appointed for 2-year terms, and it's at 5. So I should be having the mic on. So as you all can see on letter A on the second page of the proposal, this is when we originally had 7, so I'm going to propose this. 2 members shall be appointed for 3 years, nothing changes. The next one changes. 2 members will be appointed for the year of 2 years, and 1 member shall be appointed for the term of 1 year. This is just to kickstart the process, and then after that, it's 3-year terms. So to change.
2 and 1.
2, 2, and 1.
Years, those 2. 1 member, it's going to be 2, and 1 member for 1. So that is for the amendment.
Yes.
Yes, that's the vote that we're going to be taking now. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Is to approve. Motion to approve the item.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
If there's nothing else under tabled matters, I'm going to go right to new business.
We have one item that,
I,
Counselors, if I could have your attention, please. I was got a communication from the airport director regarding a new item. 123, and unfortunately, sometimes things move fast in government, and sometimes move really slow, and this one, I think, happened faster than people expected. The airport potentially is looking for a 21-year, 21. This is a proposal only to allow the, only to allow the airport board to enter into a 21-year lease. Currently, by statute, they have 20 years. This is a 21-year, which is odd, not figuratively and whatever. So that needs a vote of the council. What we're looking to do tonight, this is going to be sent to a committee, so we'll have further discussion. The airport commissioner will be here to answer questions. But tonight, I'm looking to declare document, only to put it on the agenda, document 50123 as an emergency for the public good, so that we can put it on the agenda and then send it to a committee. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion made, seconded by Councilor Infante. Discussion on the motion to declare an emergency to place it on the council agenda. Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Yes.
Counselor Dela Cruz.
Yes.
Counselor Russell.
Yes.
Counselor Rodriguez. Counselor Del Rosario.
Yes.
Counselor Selena Reyes. Counselor Infante.
Yes.
Council Vice President Reyes.
Yes.
Council President LaPlante.
Yes, the motion carries. It's on the agenda. This document will be sent to the ordinance committee. Keep in mind, councilors, I think Councilor Rodriguez was correct in our last meeting. At least in this past year, maybe the last couple of times, we did not have a meeting. I'm pretty confident at some point in my long tenure, we did have one meeting or two at some point, but recently, they have been kicked out to later in January. So we will not have the first week. It'll probably be the third week in January for our first meeting of the new city council. Now, having said that, any other table matters before I go through new business? None. Good. That's what I wanted to hear. New business. Remove a couple of you, three of you, the whole team right here, the whole side is the three of you. They're parked right next to each other. Document 47623, remove handicap parking signs at 19 Cedar Street. Council Vice President Reyes is going to the ordinance committee. 47723, recognize Lawrence High School's theater program put on by Councilor Del Rosario. Councilor Infante, Councilor Rodriguez is going to the ordinance committee. Document 47823, remove handicap parking sign. 45 Bellevue Street, that's going to go to the ordinance committee. Document 47923, resident parking only. Basswood Street from Arlington to Alder Street, put on by Councilor Del Rosario, the ordinance committee. Document number, and I can't read it because the staple's there. 48023, remove handicap parking sign at 322 Ames Street, ordinance committee. 461, resident parking. Huh?
481?
481, sorry, yep. 41, resident parking only, Walnut Street. That's going to the ordinance committee. 48223, handicap parking, 10 Morton Street, ordinance committee. 48323, authorization to expend $154,805, the Mass DOT grade crossing reimbursement funds, AKA Chapter 130, is going to the budget committee. 48423, authorization to expend $460,337, Mass DOT Industrial Rail Access Program, IRAP grant, is going to the Budget and Finance Committee. 48523, install one JO pole at 781, number 781, at the Beacon Street, near intersection of Andover Street, reference 29438746, is going to the Ordinance Committee. 486, install one SO pole, number 5240-84, Bailey Street near Foster Street, reference 30552693, is going to the Ordinance Committee. 4723, install two SO poles, that's number 5148 and 5149, Market Street near Parker Street, reference 305-526-93, is going to the Ordinance Committee. 48823, install two SO poles, number 5217-84 and 6097, Salem Street near Blanchard Street, reference 305-526-93, that's the same as the last one, is going to the Ordinance Committee. 4923, construct underground electric conduit from poles 5148 and 5149 to MH 691 Market Street near Parker Street. It's going to the Ordinance Committee. 490-23, install one JO pole 5430 South Union Street near Grafton Street, Ordinance Committee. 491-23, construct underground electric conduit from MH11 to number 5965 Merrimack Street is going to the Ordinance Committee. 492-23, relocate one JO pool number 112 Merrimack Street near Parker Street is going to the Ordinance Committee. 493-23, construct underground electric conduit South Canal Street near Amesbury, Ordinance Committee. 494-23, construct underground electric conduit, pole 106 to MH 1794, Merrimack Street near Carver Street, Ordinance Committee. 495-23, relocate one SO pole, number 11284, Merrimack Street near Parker Street, Ordinance Committee. 496-23, install two SO poles, 6560 and 6671, South Canal Street near Amesbury Street, Ordinance Committee. 497, 23, install one JO pole, number 12-50, Canal Street near Union Street, Ordinance Committee. 498-23, construct underground electric conduit from MH 127 to pole number 1250, Ordinance Committee. And number 523, city employee disclosure of conflict, that is going to Elizabeth Perdomo, that's going to the Ordinance Committee. What am I missing? Councilors, I don't suspect that we're going to have any committee meetings between now and after the swearing-in ceremony, so let's not even go down that road. I think that'll all take place afterwards. So I don't, unless someone's going to tell me they want a committee meeting in the next week and a half or 2 weeks, and I'm not seeing anybody saying yes to that. Councilors, we've got people leaving. I don't want to mention any names, but they're in this part of the dais.
So I just need to say that one of the members whose last night is tonight always finds a way to be around me, because now I have her niece on my JV cheerleading team, so I'm her coach, and she always finds a way to be like near me, huh?
Say the last part. Say the last part. You're missing the best part. How I had adopted you.
Yes, yes. And like a true daughter,
Away.
I try to stay away.
So, we do have Counselor Maria Dela Cruz, Counselor Richard Russell, Council Vice President and State Rep, Counselor Estela Reyes. Go in reversal to see for Counselor Rich Russell.
Are we talking in senior?
You've been long enough on the city council, and we're all about seniority as far as tenure in this body. So, listen, we can all say what we want to say. Let me just start off by just saying this. You've been on the other side for quite some time. You got a peek into how government from this side works. I think you are now at a point where you're more dangerous than ever before, because you know how the sausage is made. And, but I'm hopeful that with that comes, with that understanding, that you can also help us. I mean, I'm eager to get whatever assistance you can have, because sometimes having fresh optics and fresh eyes from the other side of the bar is really helpful for those of us who have been around long, and we need to hear sometimes the fresh and different opinions. But you finally made it. You were here. You served us well. You served us with pride and distinction. And we thank you for your service, not only your military service, but here in serving in Vietnam, being a true friend of the veterans, doing a lot of things on your own time with your camera. You've gone out and you've been so generous in taking pictures and making sure all of us were the beneficiaries of, because how many of us are taking our own pictures? I mean, sometimes I forget to take pictures, and thank God you're there. So you've added that kind of value that catalogs our experiences, not only as counselors, but as city officials and as a whole. So I just want to say thank you for your service, all those fronts. And if there's any other counselors who wish to say something, we're going to go through all three. So if you have something you want to say, now's the time to say something.
I want to say thank you for your services, and I know you continue services in our community. Thank you so much.
Very good. So, Councilor Rodriguez.
I also want to say thank you for everything that you have say here at the council and from the podium. We always listen.
Councilor Infante.
Well, since you've joined the council during the neighborhood meetings, you've been you laid low, and I just asked that please take it easy on me now that you've become more dangerous during the neighborhood meetings.
I live in District D. We do not have a neighborhood meeting. Brenda has an excellent meeting. So that's the reason I participate, and the fact I was a counselor at large. I did serve them.
Thank you.
So Councilor Dela Cruz, yes.
Please send me all my pictures. Thank you, Rosalind.
I want to say also thank you for your service, not just only here as a member of the city council, but also as a resident, because through you we have been learning also. Most of the time we know about things that we don't know, or sometimes the new doesn't come to us unless that you put it on your Facebook or you to mention whatever that is happening. Thank you so much.
I do want to add one thing, an admonition.
You want to get a parting shot in? Go right ahead.
Okay. And I hope nobody takes this in the wrong meaning. There's three things in life people should not get involved in or see. First of all, they should not see how they make hot dogs. They should not see the blood and guts of combat, and quite frankly, I've added backroom politics to that list too. But I have enjoyed the 10 months here, I have. The only bad thing about it is going over there is I'm taking a $20,000 cut in pay.
Well said. So, Councilor Russell, the Lawrence City Council recognizes and honors distinctive service to the Lawrence City Council and to the residents of Lawrence, and for that, we thank you, and I want to hand this to you on behalf of all of us. The next, no surprise, is Councilor Dela Cruz. Now, Councilor, I mean, my goodness, I mean, talk about, I think you have been such a fighter for, and you always say, my community, my community, my community, and we all know your community is not, it's based on your District A, and it doesn't make a difference where you're from, it's your District A. Tireless fighter, I mean, I remember the days you were like, you gotta see my sidewalks. Come and see my sidewalk. These sidewalks are awful. Look at and you made me walk like all these sidewalks. These are awful sidewalks. What are you gonna do about this? I'm like, well, and it was just, that was an example of the tireless advocacy that you have for the people in your district. And I think the folks in your district understand and realize that. I mean, we had a priest, was it a priest or a minister here today who said fantastic things about you. And he's probably not watching all the city council meetings, but he's probably seeing what you're doing on the street. And he understands the work and the care that you have, the care, the passion and the care for the people you represent. And so when I think of you, Counselor, that's what I'm thinking of, the passion for the people that you want. And oftentimes it's for the people who are underserved, people who may not have a voice, and you kind of seek those people out because you want to be their voice. And I've noticed that about you. So, I mean, I want to thank serving with you. I appreciate the time and your contributions. And you're never afraid to ask a question. Sometimes many of us are thinking but aren't going to ask. And sometimes I thank Councilor Dela Cruz for asking that question. And so we thank you for being sometimes the brave soul for answering questions that some of us are thinking but may not be asking. So thank you.
It's your honey, though.
Oh,
No, you know how to
Councilor Rodriguez.
He knows where do you live.
Councilor De La Cruz, thank you for everything that you have done. I remember when you ran at large back in 2013, and that was an eye-opening to a lot of us. that decided not to run at that time, and you actually did. You joined us in 2017, and that was a heck of a race for District A. I believe that was the first time that District A actually mobilized the way that both of you did. And since then, I have learned a lot about the district and in your advocacy. Also, the fact that you are running District A Neighborhood Association, that was definitely something that the city of Lawrence needs on that area, and that helped tremendously a lot of people. Sometimes doing things from the neighborhood association work better than advocating through the council, because things get done quicker and more effectively. So if you're thinking of taking a break from the city council, actually keep on doing the neighborhood association thing, because it's extremely needed in the city of Lawrence. Thank you for everything you have done as a teacher. Thank you for everything that you have done as a community leader. And thank you for everything you have done in general for the city of Lawrence. Thank you.
Councilor Infante.
Thank you. To Councilor De La Cruz, one thing that I ask is to not stop your advocacy for education. I met you in 2017 when I was running for school committee, and since that day, I mean, there's people here that have known you longer, known the work that you have done, but the few years that I've gotten to know, you're a strong voice, and I hope that, well, you don't need a title. You don't need the title to continue the work, and you've shown that, and I hope to see more of that.
So
I would like to say that I was a volunteer the first week that I moved to Massachusetts. And I remember the Leonard School didn't have a PTO, and we created a PTO. And I remember when Lawrence Community Works stepping in a little house, 85 Newberry, and they didn't have no members. And I passed by, and I became a member. Then the history in this city has engaged me, because adopted me. I came from New York, a big city, but I was doing the same work that I was doing, that I started doing here, with a lot of passion, with a lot of love. It was never a no, it was always a yes. I love to see Lawrence Community Work being a millionaire place now, and it was not at the beginning. The same thing, the progress on the different schools, but the most of all, the fight that we have with the state when they wanted to take over the city of Lawrence without making a new high school. It was a big fight, and we won $110 million. We thought that it was enough, and it was the beginning of a new high school. I didn't teach at the Promised Land, but that's part of being Christian. You don't touch what is God's things, and it happened to me. But so proudly that when I pass by the high school, I see such a beautiful stadium. It's a college stadium, but we work very hard to have it. Then my passion as a teacher is never end, it's there. I continue to bring 150 book bags every year to Dominican Republic, because I know that one day they're gonna come out of slavery. My country is part of slavery. They need to come out, because we have the 21st century that we can keep teaching, and I never stop bringing stuff. I always bring a pencil. I always stop a kid for a pencil. Then here in Lawrence, it's a lot of work, and we all have passion in different ways, and we can make a difference. I fight a lot with Mr. Gregory Rosario, but I'm putting on his shoulder the kids of Lawrence, because I see that he enjoys working with the kids. Then you have my respect for that. The same thing, each one of you has teaching me so much. When I talk about the honey with Mr. LaPlante, President LaPlante, at the beginning I thought he was a very nasty person. Then through the honey, he became so sweet. so sweet and humble that I see his hard work. I see his caring. I see how he worries about when we changing things that belong to people that went to the war. My uncle went to the war, to the Vietnam War, and it's sad to see people not having the benefit that they deserve as soldiers of this country. When they come back, when my uncle came back, he lost his mind. Then we had to keep supporting the veterans. We had to keep supporting the young kids in the community. We had to keep working. And at the state level, Madam Chair, you have a lot of work to do. I do. A lot of work to do, because they don't believe in the education of the city of Lawrence. I remember they didn't give me Romeo and Juliet for my newcomers kit. And you know what I did? I bought 400 different books to teach my kids about Romeo and Juliet, Anne Frank, Helen Keller, and Martin Luther King. And they learned about it. They learned, and today, those kids are professional, most of them. Then you have a job to do at the state level because they need to provide what we need. They're not providing what we need for the city of Lawrence. They think money is all. We need vocational school, vocational school. We need our kids to do solar panels. We need our kids to know about global warming. We need our kids to see what happened yesterday. If I would be in the classroom yesterday, I would take the kids outside to see the floating of the city that we have. Then we need to prepare our kids to leave a country to them, because they don't know what's going on with the global warming. They don't know how we need to shut down the lights, because they don't have those teaching hands at this moment. And it's so sad that a lot of teachers are getting fix the lights in my house. The city of Lawrence. Then let's keep helping our kids. We have to make changes in education. Education has failed to our kids. As a teacher, my kids were doing projects the whole time. They were happy. They want to come to school every day. They look at those kids today. They want to go to school because they play in sports. Then we have to engage the kids in our problems today. We have to bring them to school. We have to make sure that they are changing. Let them work with the garbage. Let them play with the garbage, that when they hate the garbage, they're going to understand how much we need to recycle. Then education is never ending. I'm learning about finance now. I'm taking a lot of courses in finance. We need to know about small business and big business. And make sure that the money that small businesses are getting in this city goes to everybody, not to one group. Right, Selena? Yes. Right, Selena, that we're struggling to keep it up. Then thank you very much to everybody for being so nice. Brenda, I love you. I love you, Brenda. Thank you for being here all the time and to let us know when we're making a mistake, which is great. Thanks to the city of Lawrence for embracing so many people. Ms. Clerk, I'm going to let you go on vacation now. Thank you. Thank you, young mothers that we have in the community that are helping and that are being a role model to a lot of people. Thank you. I'm having a good one. Russell, Anna. Anna is my neighbor. I'm going to bother Anna a lot now. Let's continue to work. You are a voice. Don't stop. Sometimes we don't agree with you, but don't stop. Keep being a voice, because that's important. And Stephanie, we need a lot of you. We need a lot of you to take over. I'm leaving because I believe in young generations that can take over. And you can do a better job than I did. Then just be faithful, trust in yourself, and do the best. Mr. Honey, I'm going to be waiting for the honey.
Make sure Council President's tag next
This for recognizes and honors Maria Dela Cruz, City Councilor District A, for a distinctive service to the residents of the City of Lawrence and the residents of Lawrence from 2018 to 2024. Thank you. Motion to adjourn? Oh. Last but not least, my goodness, friend, I think, to everybody on this council, an ear that I think all of us can talk to, who will listen, who will be a voice, who is very good about not only listening, but then taking that information and trying to be helpful. I'm talking, of course, about our Vice President, Estela Reyes, who has been on this council since 2012. Now, Councilor Reyes and I served back prior to that when we served on the Lawrence Redevelopment Authority together for many years. I think her role there was a little different because of the selection process, but we became friends. I think all of us can say that we became friends with Estela over time, and that story is very true with me as well. Talk about being effective. Talk about working in the most positive way possible. I've worked, I think I've told you this, folks, I've worked with 36 different city councilors in the course of my time. So I've seen councilors come, I've seen councilors go. Councilor Estela Reyes is by far one of the sharpest, when I say political, that sounds bad, but it's not bad. It's, in this particular sense, it's a good thing where she's very what? Strategic in a good way, in a very good way, right? Not like cunning and manipulative, but strategic in a way that I need to figure out how we're supposed to get there and what can I do to bring you with me so we get to that right place. I mean, if there was going to be something written about all your top priorities and things that you're able to accomplish, but I think one of the things, you ran the ordinance committee with an iron fist. I mean, there was no getting away. You were like, I'm looking for motion made there and second there, on favor say aye, and it went through. I mean, we're never going to have an ordinance committee as well-oiled as the ordinance committee. And now you're talking to two previous ordinance committee chairs right here. Any other ordinance committee chairs? So Clerk Brunel and I are at one point ordinance committee chairs. Amazing job. And now you're obviously in the bigger leagues. And I think what you're going to be able to do better than most is be able to advocate for the city because you have been here and working here for so long. Someone like Pavel is also, Senator Payano and also Leader Moran also cut their teeth here. But I think there's something special about how you conducted yourself over this time. And I guess I can go on and on. I just want to thank you for your service. I want to thank you for your friendship. I want to thank you for being a true partner. And I think anybody who knows the city of Lawrence can look at you and say, that's a partner. If I'm for the city of Lawrence, Estela Reyes is my partner. It's very simple. So with that, I know nobody else wants to speak, right? So is there anyone else who wishes to say a few words? You're welcome to at this point. Councilor Infante, then Councilor Rodriguez. Councilor Infante.
I look forward to not looking across when I'm disagreeing on something that you that you're supporting, and you're giving me these looks to stop talking, as a mother should. But yeah, I look forward to not having those looks anymore. But I do look forward to working with you at the state level. Like Councilor De La Cruz said, there's a lot of more work to do, especially at the state level. And you know I'm behind you, and you have a force, a team of force behind you. So I'm ready, and I can't wait to see what you will do as a state representative, as a full state representative.
Councilor Rodriguez.
There is a lot of things that go through my mind when it comes to Stella. A lot of good things. Other not so good. But those are good things because I remember those. Everything that we have done together here in the city council have touched me. And to a point that every time that I go out with my son, he's looking forward to meet with Tia, how he called you. For some reason, somehow, he have developed that mad love to Tia, that it is something that is special to the family. When it comes to the city council stuff, it's been a great experience working with you, Stella, because at some point we have agreed, and other points we haven't agreed. But when we go backstage, there is no such thing as not saying hi, bye, and a kiss. That is truly meaningful to me, that we be able to accomplish that, because it's been a few people that I have that relationship with only. So when it comes to the city, I thank you for everything you have done. We campaigned together, different campaign seasons. You took the step to run for city council and win. And that was also something that I look forward to when you actually decide to run and decide to serve. I was falling behind. I felt like, because it was Kendrick, it was you, it was me, and the same campaign trail. And I decided to run for school committee, looking forward to serve at that level. And you guys were here at the city council, which is amazing to see you guys staying for so long and making an impact in the community. So thank you for real.
Councilor Russell?
Thank you. Parting is such sweet sorrow, but I don't think you're gonna miss lugging the damned ordinance notebook around. With that, you've graduated the big time. Congratulations.
Councilor Levy?
Don't cry. You're not leaving. You're not leaving. You're gonna stay here forever. So you're gonna be maybe on the other side, but you're gonna be always here. And I know that I thank you. I have learned a lot from you, principal with the ordinance. So since day one, I know that you say you have to be part of my thing, and I'm being part of your thing. So thank you so much for everything that you have been done, and for everything that you have been doing for this community. So you're going to be here. So everybody love you, and everybody's crying. But as I think that we have been worked very, very close for the last 6 years. So maybe not always we are on the same or before, or no, I don't know, but on the same side. But it is good because that way we can see, the difference in between. But I think that's one of the things that you have, Estela, is like you get a point in the middle, so that everyone can get together and find, the best way that we can sell our city, and that is what we're looking for. Thank you for your friendship, and thank you for serving as a city council.
Councilor Reyes. And at this point going forward, I can just say Councilor Reyes without having to say Selena Reyes. Councilor Reyes.
Wow, Councilor Reyes. I'm so glad to work with you through our city, running our community meeting for a long time ago. I'm so glad to having you. That's why we call you our queen of ordinance committee, because you teach us every day. So thank you for your commitment. I know I continue seeing you because I go frequently to the State House to advocate for our bill. Was Councilor De La Cruz mentioned, we continue to advocate and working hard to find out the respect for small business in general. If we come with you through the state. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your dedication. Thank you for always have empathy for our community. Thank you so much.
Very good. So I can give this to you now when you could speak, or you could speak and I can
me
give it to you
speak.
after. You want to speak now?
Let me speak.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Oh, Councilor De La Cruz, please. Yeah, go right ahead.
Reyes, you have been dedicating a lot of your life to this community, and people don't know that when you do this kind of job, you have to leave your house, you have to leave your family alone. You have to, sometimes they want you to celebrate with them, and you're celebrating with somebody else. Then that's a sacrifice that we decide to make for the community, and you have done it all. Then thank you very much for dedicating so much time to us. And at the state level, I don't think it's going to be less. I think it's more job for you. But we know that we can trust you, and we know that you can bring the pieces of the pie that belong to the city of Lawrence. We know that you're going to do it with love, and you're going to be strict about that. Thank you, because the challenge is big, but at the same time, we know that you can do it. Keep it up.
I think it's your turn now, Vice
Yes.
President.
Thank you. Thank you all for those kind of words. When I made a decision to run for state rep, it was a hard decision because it was a mixed emotion. I knew that at some point I have to give up my city council position. I know to be working at the State House, it has been, I don't want to call a dream, a commitment to my city. And I all want you to know that the same way and same level that you have seen me working at this capacity, it's not going to be any less at the State House. But I'm going to start with one of you. I'm going to start from Stephanie. We had connected since the minute that we met. When she was a school committee, she called me a couple of times, which I blew her up all the time. But she waited patiently and called whenever she felt that she needs to call. But one of the things that surprised me and impressed me about her was that when I made a decision to run for state rep, she didn't wait for my call, even though I blew her like a million times. And that is something that I'm never gonna take it away. It's not a time, Stephanie and I, we don't have a sister or daughters in office. We have a good and a strong relationship. Stephanie showed up on Mother's Day at my house to surprise me with flowers. And only a daughter can remember those days when she could spend time with her own mom. And that's what I call her, like a daughter, because this is how I feel. And whenever I have to do something, she run everything through me and I run everything to her, believe it or not. Even when we not agree. And that's something that I will never gonna forget. She's always gonna have me by her side. Even though you see me, I correct her like she is my own daughter. We fight like you don't even know, but we became a friend. Councilor Selena Reyes, we bumped her before we start being a colleague. Neighborhood meeting with her, only with her presentation, I didn't have to say much because the work was done. Just because she say, I'm gonna invite in the person who's gonna bring the solution or any problem that she didn't know if I was gonna able to resolve. In many occasions, we didn't come through, but that constitution, they were happy just because she said it and we worked together. And I hope, like you say, that I can continue seeing and working together like we had been. Councilor del Rosario, I don't think it's much that I can say that I have shown to you. I know the passion that you have, not only to work with the kids, but when you believe in something, you fight for. And that is the reason that you're always going to have my respect. And my door is always going to be open to all of you. I'm only going to be a phone call or a text away from you guys, because I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be probably sitting in the other side, but if it's something, you're going to hear me, and I'm going to be running through you. Councilor Giovanni. When he first decided to run, we were the one, Kendry and I, we were beside him. We were friends before he became a city council. And the connection that I have with his family is because one of the things that he's always, it doesn't matter in which side, because sometimes we can be in a different side, but after we fight like an enemy, after we cross that door, everything is done. We start talking like a person, normal person, and talking like we had been never discussed for anything. And about his son, actually is his 3 kids, because even the little one is always looking now, because Zoe and Gio, who is my nephew, they always look for me. But I'm gonna tell you one thing, I'm a mother, and if I wouldn't implant something in my kids, negative, my kids never were gonna go to that person. And I know for a fact that he always was looking to create that relationship that we had before, and he transmitted it to his kid. And thank you, Councilor Giovanni, because what we are serving, or the way that we are serving, he has nothing to do to our personal life. And one thing that I have to say, and this is in public, you had been very vocal to your community. When you believe something, there's no way that you can turn down. It doesn't matter. Thank you. Councilor President, I wish I can leave you for last, because I have a lot to say about you. When we first met, as you said, I was not a city council. He was. I didn't know what I was doing, but I always tried to sit right next to him, because it was always something to learn from him. I remember one time, and I'm sure that he remembered, that he came to me. We had a meeting, and I don't know why we get into big argument here. No, from him and I, it was like something that we was in completely disagreement. And he came in the back and he said, what did I do wrong? And I told him what I thought that he did wrong. He would have chosen not to believe what I said. And he said to me, that's gonna be the last time that I'm gonna do that. That I don't even remember what it was, but I know there was a little thing. Since that moment, we became a friend. He's always gonna be in a special place in my heart, because it's a person that I questioned to him multiple times. Why are you doing what you are doing? And he said, because I love my community. Sometimes you can take that as a sarcastic way and say, but why you don't spend time with your family? And I saw him, in the whole entire time that I've been here, I think only one meeting that I shared from him was the only one that I had seen missing a city council meeting. That is a true commitment. That is a true leader. I know that it's hard sometimes, and I know that it's difficult, because unfortunately we not all can be on the same page. But way beyond that, you became who you are. And for me, you always gonna be special. Mr. Russell, I hope that now that you have more information, and we both gonna be sitting in that bench, we can be gentle with who today are our colleague. Because sometimes I know they try, and you know, and we have seen that. Not every time we can, we want or plan to do something, it's gonna come forward. But we have to continue fight. Thank you for your service. I know that you only gonna be switching sides, but I know that you're always gonna be here. Councilor De La Cruz, I wish I can have your husband sitting in that chair and say what I have to say, but I'm gonna tell you this. I had learned about so many things that you have been putting in place in front of me, that you believe in, you constantly fighting for what you believe, which is education. I know many people who come forward and fight for education, but not a person like you with that big passion. I hope that has not changed on you, and it's not going to change. And I know that that's not gonna change. But back on those days when I used to visit your house, of course for her husband, not for her, I would love to be there because she has a great family. She is a neighbor of a big part of my family, which, who they love her for the way that she has been working within. And if my family love you, I love you too. Anna, I know it's many occasions that I had been going to your house and sat for hours and talked to you about many different issues that we agree or disagreement. But that didn't take us in a different level just to being a colleague and a friend. I know that we are gonna be continue working together, and I told you or anyone who's gonna be serving as the ordinance committee that anytime you need me, I can be sitting over there and I can help you. But you all have my phone number, and I'm not planning to change. Thank you for your service. I know that sometimes you look tired and you say, I'm gonna give up, but until you have that in your heart, don't take it away. One person that is on the audio is Brenda Rosie, who I'm gonna be missing her. She said, it doesn't matter where you're gonna get married, I'm gonna go. And even if it's DR, I'm gonna go. Yes, Brenda's very special for me. Always looking forward to create a neighborhood on District B. And we had tried, let me tell you, and one time, she saw 30 people, right, coming over. The second meeting was only 10, and the third meeting was only her and I. So we've been working. And two guys on the back, John and Bill, who always make me look good and beautiful. Thank you. I really appreciate, and I'm telling you, it's gonna be hard for me, not looking forward to be here every Tuesday. I'm gonna be missing you like a family. Trust me, it's something that I don't know how it's gonna be the first 2 months. I know that I have enough in my plate, as you said, and I know that Councilor LaPlante, he didn't say, but he has a lot of friends at the State House. And for my surprise, one of them came to me and said, my friend asked me to treat you like a queen. This is how far thing has gone. Thank you all. Mr. Mrs. Clerk, I served with you in Ordinance Committee. And many of the things that I learned from you. I wish you nothing more than the best. I know that it's a learning process, and I know that sometimes it's hard. But you did it, You did it through ordinance committee, chair the ordinance committee. You did it through chief of staff. You went to police station, and it's no doubt that you're gonna do what you know how to do. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Estella. Let me read this before we all start getting too emotional here. The Lawrence City Council recognizes and honors Estella Reyes for her distinctive and long-standing service to the Lawrence City Council and to the residents of Lawrence. Councilor Reyes represented District B and served in a leadership capacity during her 12 years on the City Council from 2012 to 2024. Thank you very much, Councilor. Adjourn. I'm asking for about 2 or 2.5 minutes, maybe less, depends on how quickly I can read this. I'd like to summarize this. This is our last meeting of the year before we reconvene. This is the last time this council, as constituted, will be meeting until we have new councilors to join us. So I just want to read this to you. I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve as your council president for the past 2 years. As we wind up our 2-year term, we say thank you to those who will be leaving us and welcoming those who will be joining us. I also want to mention a few highlights that we can be proud of during this term. While it may be under my leadership, anything that was accomplished required the support of this council and not just one person. I listed 10 things. I'll go through them. First thing is translation services. I remember fighting for this back in 1999. It gives me great satisfaction that we're able to open our government to people who are unable to speak English. Number 2, citations. Until recently, we would go to events where the state delegation and the mayor were the only entities that provided official recognition. I'm proud to say that the City Council can now provide recognition through our citations at any time. For most special occasions or circumstances, we can also provide plaques and pins. Hiring. The council has hired an excellent clerk and city attorney who have provided stability and professionalism in these offices. Number 4, the council meetings are now starting on time, and the individuals who are in attendance are moved up in order in respect of their time. Number 5 is travel. Thanks to Congresswoman Trahan, she said yes to my request that all city councilors be allowed to travel to Washington to learn about the relationship between our local government and the federal government. Number 6 is history. We were able to get a tour of the canals and the Arrow Mill Clock Tower. Number 7 is canals. While we could have sat back, the council took the lead in commenting on the water power right licenses through the canals. This is a 50-year license that places us in a unique time where we have a voice in the process. Number 8, remembering a hero. A council delegation went to Norfolk, Virginia to attend the funeral services for Captain James Mulligan, who was a 7-year POW during the Vietnam War. Number 9, collaboration. The City Council has collaboratively worked with the Mayor's Office, passing the budget, the tax rate, and providing the funding for unexpected increases for school construction. It has also exerted its independence when needed, such as the hiring of the ISD director. And last, number 10, improvements are in the works for the renovation of the council chamber that will drastically improve the audio and the visual. We can all be proud of these developments, and we can continue to do more. That is my expectation for our next term. Again, thank you for your confidence in me. It has been a privilege to lead this council. I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
Point of personal privilege, please. Before we adjourn.
Sure. Did I offend somebody with the comments?
No.
Okay.
Thank you, Council President, for your service. I would like Councilor Estela Reyes to make the last motion.
Councilor Reyes, would you make a last motion? And I would like somebody who's also leaving to say a second.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Counsel Delacruz. Discussion. We went by seniority, Rich, I'm sorry. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you.